It's been generations since the rise of the apes and the fall of humanity. Caesar died at the end of the last movie, but worse than that, the memory of Caesar has died in the centuries since then. Noah, the chimpanzee at the center of the story, has never heard of Caesar. Two other apes have, though. Raka heard of Caesar. He's a part of an order of orangutans dedicated to the memory of Caesar. They remember the wise words that Caesar passed on to all apes. They remember that humans, the mute and dim-witted pests of the forest, were special to Caesar. As unbelievable as it sounds, there's even a legend that Caesar was raised by a tribe of humans. Remains of civilization with pictures and statues of humans are interpreted as sanctuaries for the brutes. Raka is the first to recognize May is smart for a human, but when Noah reminds him of that observation after hearing the girl speak, Raka rebuts with, "Within reason." Raka has no concept of real intelligence among their hominid cousins of the forest. He hopes they could be domesticated someday, and pictures the kind relationships between Caesar and the humans of his day more in terms of ape masters and human pets. Proximus has an entirely different story for Caesar, though. He has heard legends of Caesar leading an uprising, overseeing the destruction of humanity. Humanity was a ruthless, uncompromising warlord that kept intelligent apes in cages out of cruelty and malice. Intelligent humans can't be trusted, and even the dumb are to be killed for sport and spite. Proximus doesn't know why humanity went dumb, but he's sure there's no room for two top species. This is also why he, a bonobo, is enslaving chimps and gorillas. His kingdom is founded on the idea of his own superiority. With sadness and dread, he recognizes his own mortality, and in fear that his descendants will find themselves caged, seeks out weapons of mass destruction that will allow him to dominate all who oppose his law. All apes are illiterate in this movie. The few remaining intelligent humans have moved underground in military bases that are sealed off from the surface, where the virus still runs rampant that causes humans to lose intelligence. There are a few thoughts that this movie brought up for me. One of them is about Noah's tribe of chimpanzees. They were completely unaware of the legends of Caesar. They used a combination of sign and spoken English, but both were a little broken and primitive. One of the thoughts that I had is that this group might not be descended from Caesar at all. This tribe may be from a group of chimps from another zoo, and when the simian flu came through they gained intelligence, and the humans lost the same in such rapid succession that the transition felt natural and normal. The chimps of Generation 1 knew they were smarter than Grandma, but Grandma grew up in that place over there. Now everyone is just smarter. This brings up other questions. Raka is explaining something to Noah about gibbons at a scene transition. There were no gibbons at the zoos and sanctuaries and research facilities that Caesar liberated. That doesn't mean the gibbons would be differently affected by the simian flu. It just means they weren't there. Gibbons are significantly smaller than chimps and bonobos, to say nothing of gorillas and orangutans. Gibbons could be a fascinating addition to the intelligent apes of the series, if for no other reason than they couldn't be confused for people in monkey suits. Another question I have after this movie is how the apes will learn to read. We know that intelligent apes can learn to read. They did in the Caesar trilogy. Because they are simply surviving, the apes have lost that knowledge. Learning to hunt and learning to build community have been prioritized over niceties, like reading. We get a glimpse of what will happen when the apes revive these forgotten skills. At a certain point in the movie, they find children's books with pictures of apes in cages being laughed at by human children. Even the peaceful apes are not happy with that idea. I hope that this is the beginning of a Noah trilogy. There are a lot of directions that they could go from here. An ape/human alliance against both ape and human supremacists would be an interesting development, but it's entirely within the scope of the world already built for nearly everyone to fall into one or the other camp of supremacy. What about the descendants of wild apes in Africa and Asia? Have they been hit with the simian flu? If so, Have they progressed as quickly? Are American humans still harboring old animosity with humans from other continents? The remaining humans avoided exposure to the air for fear of the simian flu, and May was exiled to the surface as probably contaminated. Does the virus even survive? Is May immune? Was she selected because she is immune, or was she just lucky? Does she anticipate a future of silent fog as she loses her cognitive abilities? If so, will she seek alliance with intelligent apes when she realizes that's not her future? Might she seek a sign language-based communication with her human companions? So many possibilities, and I can't wait to see what they do.